Well, last night we saw the breaking of a lawsuit between Gearbox CEO and anti-Gamergate guy. I guess that's relevant just for the laughs. A lawsuit between him and his former friend and lawyer. A lawsuit that alleged both a secret $12 million payment that came out of the pockets of his employees or at the expense of other people on the team that should have gotten that bonus, as well as a infamous USB stick full of prawn left at a medieval times. Well, it didn't take long before Randy Pitchford, in fact, confirmed that the USB stick of naughty videos did happen, in fact, and other people whom worked on Borderlands also confirmed it. I saw a kind of weird tweet come out of David Eddings, who had worked on original Borderlands with Randy Pitchford, tweeting out simply, "Yes, it's true," never offering any other explanation, but it was later put together that he was in fact talking about the USB stick full of no-no videos. That's right, after lawsuit filed, Gearbox CEO confirms he left a USB stick of prawn at medieval times. Alleges Pitchford received $12 million in bonuses that he hid from Gearbox staffers and siphoned elsewhere. A pair of lawsuits filed in Dallas District County Court late last year came to light on Friday, each revolving around an apparently nasty dispute between former general counsel of Gearbox, makers of Borderlands and Aliens Colonial Marines, and its CEO, Randy Pitchford. Now, the reason I'm doing a double video, I don't like to cover the same topic twice, but in the interest of integrity, in the first video, Mr. Pitchford had not responded to these claims. And so I felt it was important to clear up, because while he admits it was a USB stick of prawn, what he actually did have on there doesn't sound so bad after all. Now, hey, look, I'm not interested in what your browser search history looks like, and I don't want to share mine. But needless to say, people watch what they want to watch. They want to enjoy what they want to enjoy, and as long as it's not illegal, who am I to judge you for the prawn you choose to enjoy? A November filing by Gearbox, uncovered by Kotaku's Jason Schreier. Hey, look at you, Jason, doing some actual work. Alleged that the company's former general counsel, Wade Callender, exploited Gearbox's generosity and trust for his own personal gain. Now, we talked about that in the first video, where he had used some credit cards, company credit cards, for personal charges, like how to get a perfect six-pack of abs, and he had taken a loan out from the company to purchase a home. All of this, again, as I talked about in my first video, the actions of people that have no integrity. You don't raid the coffers of your company to pay for your own personal things. This is not great behavior by anyone involved. The countersuit, however, went a bit further. He alleged that Pitchford breached his fiduciary duties by exploiting Gearbox employees and property to fund Pitchford's private cravings. One portion of the suit makes two sensational accusations about Pitchford's behavior: that he accidentally left a underage USB stick at a restaurant, and he used the company money to host parties where lewd behavior had happened. The allegations about the USB stick places its discovery at a 2014 Medieval Times dinner. By the way, Medieval Times is a great time. Say what you want about it being kind of a ripoff and, $12 fruity drinks. If you could go to a Medieval Times, I suggest checking it out. Not sponsored, but I went there for my birthday and I had a ton of fun. Callender alleges at the December suit that someone from the restaurant perused the USB stick's contents upon discovery, then contacted the game studio so the employees could recover it. Pitchford declared that the thumb drive was his and requested its prompt return, Callender's suit states. At this time, Callender and Gearbox counsel were mediating yet another case in which Pitchford's conduct was front and center, the Alien Colonial Marines class action. Callender alleges that he was out of town. He asked Gearbox staffers in Texas to make a copy of the USB drive to ensure its contents could be verified if necessary, and acted upon. Callender was unable to see these files, he alleges, because Pitchford intervened by retrieving the lost USB drive himself and ordering Gearbox personnel to destroy the copy that Callender requested. Citing information and belief, Callender alleges the USB stick in question contained Randy Pitchford's personal collection of bad videos, in addition to sensitive corporate documents of Gearbox Take-Two. Now, here's the thing. That's actually what's important. As long as the prawn is legal, which he's not alleging it is, but we later find out, at least according to Randy, it is. It's the other documents that matter, but it's not, of course, what we're laughing about. Additionally, he alleged that Pitchford siphoned Gearbox profits to fund parties thrown by Pitchford and his wife. The suit describes these parties known as peacock parties, gathering where adult male guests had reportedly exposed themselves to minors to the amusement of Randy Pitchford. Now that is some, I mean, come on. This sentence alleges that Randy Pitchford was basically saying, like, do my bidding. If maybe he was, but that's how it's written. David Eddings, here's where we get the update. David Eddings, a former Gearbox vice president up until 2017, took to Twitter after Kotaku's report went live in a vague two-word post saying, "It's true." As of press time, Eddings had not clarified whether his post refers to specific allegations from the lawsuit, and the Twitter post is not a direct reply to any other posts about the lawsuit. Callender's suit does not confirm whether law enforcement was notified about these allegations of exposure to minors or the possible presence of CP on a USB stick owned by Pitchford. Neither Callender's legal counsel nor Gearbox representatives responded to our questions at this time. Representatives of the Dallas FBI did not immediately. Now we see Randy's rebuttal. The prawn was a magic trick. Bizarrely enough, Pitchford corroborates some of the stories detailing appearing on a podcast that went live one day after the suit was filed. On the December 22 episode of the Piff Pod, Pitchford talks at length about the videos that he enjoyed watching, including Cam Girl, in which the host exposes themselves to a live feed and takes requests and financial tips from consumers. So Twitch? Pitchford explained that he was a consumer of this content. He confirmed that he copied a specific video to this memory stick, as he describes it. Work out the method of how a Cam Girl host faked the act of female happiness. Be warned, he describes how the video looks in particularly graphic detail. I realize that this is not a worker, Pitchford said on the show. This is a magician, Pitchford said. For those unaware, has vested interest in the field of magicians and owned a magic-focused Janai magazine. This was before I learned I should probably have password protected my memory sticks. Pitchford says before admitting that he indeed left a USB flash drive at Medieval Dinner Times in restaurant, some kid, an employee of Medieval Times, discovered the memory stick, took it home, and discovered the secrets of my company and future games in development. He also discovered the videos. It was barely legal. The girl's handle was only 18. The USB flash drive was returned to Gearbox, Pitchford says, in exchange for swag and video games. Oh my God. Pitchford claimed that the flash drive arrived at the studio while Pitchford was on vacation, so his executive assistant checked its contents. Before I know it, I think the entire office looked at it. And then there was one piece of content there, and it never occurred to any of them that was the reason. The reason why it was there, it was just a single prawn, was because of the magic trick. Well, who cares anyway? I mean, look, Randy, I know that you've had some spicy bad takes on the gaming community, but I mean, if that's really what it is, I think that's the right approach, to simply own it and say, like, hey, that's what it is. But don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. Don't tell me you were just watching this because it was a magic trick. I mean, okay, maybe, but also at least acknowledge that nobody's going to believe that. What you should really address is, like, look, this had nothing to do with being underage. It was not. And this was what sounds like, I'm starting to believe that perhaps his former friend and lawyer is embellishing a little bit about what was actually on the tape. I don't know what they thought. Later in the podcast, Pitchford suggests putting the only 18 performer on the cover of a future Janai magazine issue. Gearbox November lawsuit filed against Calendar seeks over $1 million in damages. It alleges that, in part, he did not repay a $300,000 loan issued by Pitchford in 2015 and that he used Gearbox corporate credit cards for personal use before resigning in the company in July of 2018. Calendar's countersuit seeks damages both from Pitchford and Gearbox Software in excess of $1 million on the basis of the defendants. I don't think anything's going to happen in this lawsuit. By the way, password protect your prawn, boys and girls. Also, don't carry it with you on USB sticks. Also, if you work for a big company, you should probably not leave your USB sticks at a Knights of the Round Table dinner event. Randy Pitchford is a manipulative and morally bankrupt CEO who shamefully exploited his oldest friend, a Texas attorney and military veteran named Wayne Calendar, the countersuit claims. Boy, they really are yucking it up. He's a look, what does the fact that he was a military veteran have to do with any of it, right? You're just trying to placate. Randy's side entity, Pitchford Entertainment, Media and Magic, and this happened unbeknownst to Gearbox employees, thus placing a financial burden on these employees. Again, maybe that bonus was due. Maybe that was something he had negotiated, but if he just slid that money out of the corporate bank account, I don't know. You can see Randy now has started to respond on Twitter at this point. I'm going to release this on Saturday. I wanted to update it tonight. The attacks made by my former friend and colleague have no basis in reality or law. He's simply trying to shake me down for money. We will win, but because the lawsuits are pending, I can't comment as much as I'd like. I'm shocked by his lies. Thank you for the love and support. As a father, I find crimes against children to be especially repugnant. It's very painful that a former friend and colleague would lie and try to associate me with such vile behavior in his own greedy pursuit of money. As the day progresses, I'm discovering who my friends are. Thank you for your love and support. I'm just going to try and focus on my work and trust that truth and justice will prevail. Here's what probably happened. All right. These two are two rich D-bags who got in some sort of fight, and now they're arguing in court over, money. It's high school stuff. Did Randy Pitchford have parties where stupid stuff happened? Probably yes. Okay. Is that illegal? Maybe. Then report it. It really has nothing to do with this lawsuit, and that's really for the victims to report, I would assume. Have I been to parties where crazy stuff happens? Yeah. Have I had parties where crazy stuff happens? Yeah. It's kind of out of your control if everybody's drinking and having fun. The way that this lawsuit frames it is that these things were done under direct supervision of Randy Pitchford. And if that's true, well, he's probably more of a degen than we think. But the money thing is what is probably the most scandalous of this. He doesn't seem to address that, hey, this was a due bonus. I'm the CEO. He could probably do what he wants with the money unless he has a board of directors at the time. But I felt like, and hopefully this video will get as much attention as the last video, because and if you can, remember to click the thumbs up button, and then I always pin the tweet, and sharing that helps, because I think it's important that, as much as I might dislike somebody like Randy Pitchford, who has recorded cringy songs about Gamergate before in the past, you have to be respectful, and you've got to have some honesty. I can't just put out the original claims and then not back up that. He made direct statements about it. I think that's newsworthy. And also the fact that he, in fact, had admitted that this USB stick happened already. I think that's important. Nonetheless, rich game industry people being garbage is nothing new. Enjoy your controversy, Randy Pitchford. We all know nothing's ever going to happen to you or anyone around you, because that's just not how the justice system works. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.